Onto your back and place your soles of feet together. Let your knees open wide and then lift your arms up and grip your palms to your opposite elbows, resting the back of your head. So this is a butterfly pose. You can stay there, I'm just gonna sit up. And we're going to be working on opening through our hips today. So we're going to be moving through different postures that are going to sort of stretch and strengthen and target that area of the body. So first we'll start with a little bit of mindful breathing. And we always start our yoga practices in stillness, breathing this way. And the reason why is to create like a subtle and a simple shift from the rest of your day, which is busy, 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 and has a lot of stuff going on, into your yoga practice, which is just this hour for yourself to breathe and to be in the present moment. So if you haven't already, just try to make sure that your phone's turned off and it's sort of out of the way. I know when I'm practicing at home, I'm definitely guilty of looking at my phone when I really should just have it off to the side. And I think especially at a time right now when there's so much going on, if you can distance yourself from all of it for an hour, it's the best thing you can do. So let's concentrate on creating our breath smooth and even. Filling the whole capacity of the lungs with air. And before we start moving and we start flowing, if you have any intention to sort of connect to your practice, feel free to acknowledge that intention now. Today I've been thinking about this idea of practicing with patience. Our hips can be a pretty tight area of the body, and sometimes we have to wait patiently for the hips to open. So maybe if you don't have another intention for your practice, perhaps you let it be that. Let's take one more round of breath in stillness, maybe breathing into the intercostal muscles. I'm just gonna put on a tiny bit of quiet music. I think you guys will be able to hear it. And let's just take our palms onto the outsides of the thighs. Take the knees in, give yourself a hug, rock side to side. And then place both soles of the feet on the mat. Take your right foot. You're gonna cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh, flex through the right toes, so draw them back in space, and then place the right palm on top of the right thigh. So this is one place you can be. Another place you can be is lifting your left leg off and interlacing the palms on the back of the left thigh. You can also place them on the front of the left shin. Really, it doesn't matter what variation you are taking. I just want you to find your own personal edge and just do a scan of how your right hip is feeling. So I know a couple of you just did like some hip opening yoga with me a couple hours ago. So you're maybe feeling a bit more spacious in this part of the body. But if you've been sitting on your couch a lot the past few days, haven't been able to move as much, you might be feeling a bit more tight. So just notice what you're working with today. Take one more breath. And then let's switch to the opposite side. So left ankle's on the right thigh, flex the left toes, find your depth. And know that as we're kind of moving into this shape that the hips have a lot of layers of muscles. There's so much going on in the hips. And maybe you feel a shift as like one muscle opens, then you reach another layer. So just kind of be aware of how the pose changes over time as you're in it. Take one more round of breath. And then land the right foot, land the left foot. Let's press through the palms, press through the feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. Just take a really gentle bridge. Stay for one more breath in the bridge. And then lower each and every vertebrae down at the mat. Last thing that lands is the hips. Okay, let's do a tiny bit of core. I hate core, but we have to do it. Take your knees up. Interlace your palms on the back of the skull. We're gonna lengthen through the right leg and take your left knee to tap your right elbow. Just holding here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and then for 1. Cross the opposite way. Tap. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna do a couple more of each. So cross and tap, hold here for 3, for 2, and then for 1. Cross and tap, 3, 2, 1. Okay, come all the way back to center. Take your palms onto the backs of the thighs and just do a rock and roll. Just smoothly coming up over the knees. And let's all drop into a child's pose. So you can either take this with your knees together for a bit more support, or you can take your knees wide for a bit more space. Either way, just sit your hips back and rest your forehead. Taking deep breaths. And know that this is a great place to be. Vinyasa can kind of be an active and intense class, and no one can see you, right? No one's watching you at your house. So if you want to drop down into child's pose at any point and stay here, it's a perfectly great place to be. And if you're ready to move, let's activate through the palms, spread through the fingers, and lift your way up into a table. In your table, just tuck your toes and then sit your hips back and land your hips onto your heels. So this is called, I learned the other day actually, this is called broken toe pose, and you're stretching through the soles of the feet. And if this is a lot for your feet, you can also just be down here, okay? But if you're okay like this, we're gonna multitask. We're gonna do this, and then we're also going to roll through fists, circling through the wrists, and then do it the other way. Maybe do some flicks, warming up through the wrists. And then release that, make 2 L shapes with your hands. Take those L shapes and place them down on the mat so that your index finger is lined up with the long edge of the mat. And then release the rest of the L's, so just go back here. But I want you to keep that hand alignment placed on your mat so the L's are there, your fingers are spread, there's a real suction and rootedness through the palms of your hands. And then tuck your toes, lift up and back, find your first down dog. This is your Adho Mukha Shavasana. You can work your way into this in whatever way you like. So maybe you bend one knee and press through the foot and then do it the opposite way. Rock your head back and forth, no. Give it a rock, yes. And then bend through both knees, gaze forward. Step your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees, sit back, lift into your chair. So I was saying the other day in my class, usually when I'm teaching, I'm not actually doing most of the poses. Like I'm walking around and I'm explaining. And in doing this online, it's like actually been a real challenge for me because I have to like subject myself to the same, the same pain that I'm putting you guys through. But anyway, so I'm stuck with you today in this chair. We're doing it together. Bend through the knees, sit a little lower. You got this. Let's stay for 3, for 2, and then on 1, inhale, lift all the way up to stand. Connect your palms together, and then rest your thumbs into your heartbeat. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And I want you to imagine as you're standing here that you're like this snow globe, and it's been shook all up. And as you stand in stillness, all of the snow kind of drops to the bottom. The snow settles and the water clears. Let's take an inhale, sweep both palms up towards the sky. And then exhale into a fold. Take your inhale to halfway lift. And then exhale to fold. Bend through the knees enough so that you can plant your palms. Step your feet back onto the mat. We're coming into a plank. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. So you can do plank with your knees on the mat. That's okay. If you're okay with the knees lifted, we're going to stay there. I want you to push the ground away. Now, I've been really enjoying this sequence I've been teaching lately where we go onto the forearms first and then into Sphinx rather than moving directly into a Vinyasa because it kind of opens up the spine in a nice way. Okay, so let's stay here for 1 more breath. And then land your right elbow. Land your left elbow. Find yourself into a forearm plank. You got this. And do it even if I can't see you doing it. Then lower your hips down and then lift your heart up. I'm just kidding, you don't have to do anything. This is your practice. Please listen to your own body. And if it does not feel like doing a plank, then don't make it do it. Okay, let's tuck the toes and lift up. Find yourself into your forearm plank again. And we're moving with the right arm first and then the left, okay? So right hand plants, and then your left hand plants, and then you shift back from down dog. And stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take 1 more. Ripple the heart like a wave. Find yourself into your plank. Now, the reason why I had you explore that L shape with the hands is because we in yoga often distribute our weight so that we're placing a lot of it on the wrists, and that causes injury. So I want you to be really conscious about what you're doing with your hands and try to spread your weight evenly and not dump it into the wrists. And all that is just to distract you while we're in the plank. Okay, land your left elbow. Land your right forearm plank. Hold. 3, 2, you got this. 1. Land the hips. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take 1 more, that felt good. Now let's move. Tuck the toes, lift back, forearm plank. Left palm, right palm, shift up, down dog. Inhale, exhale, Bend through the knees, gaze forward. Step the feet up to meet the hands, half lift. Exhale, fold. Toes together, bend the knees, sit back, find your chair. And this time, inhale, take your arms up. Exhale your palms at heart center. I'm just gonna turn so you can see me. We're gonna inhale, lift at your elbows, and then twist your right elbow onto your left thigh, gaze over the left shoulder. There is this natural tendency for our right knee to wanna come forward, and I want you to try to glide it back, and then notice how that alters the shape. Stay for one more breath. And then slowly unwind. Twist the opposite way. 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back, inhale. And then exhale, fold. We're gonna hang out for a couple of breaths in your forward fold. You can grip the palms to opposite elbows and just let your head and heart dangle. And as you inhale, breathe in. As you exhale, just sink a little deeper, let gravity do its work. Feel the weight of the world rolling off your shoulders and just let it go. Take one more breath. Release that grip. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, plant the palms, or stepping back to a plank. Okay, so I always like to take the first vinyasa slow. You're gonna land both knees onto the mat. Slowly lower all the way down. Feel your elbows drawn back in space and your triceps are building strength. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Shift through a table. Find yourself into a down dog. So that's version 1 of your vinyasa. The other option, we're gonna come forward. This I would recommend if you're a regular at yoga, keeping your knees lifted and slowly lowering. Okay, so if you're new, keep the knees down. The whole point is to protect the spine. And be patient for that strength to grow over time, right? Come all the way back to your down dog. Lift your right leg up towards the sky. Feel your calf stretching your left leg. And then land the right foot. Left leg lifts. Come all the way back down. Bend through the knees, gaze forward. Let's step the feet up to meet the hands. Take an inhale, half lift. Take an exhale, fold. Bend through the knees, sit back, chair, Utkatasana. One more time, inhale with your palms up. Exhale, palms at heart center. Inhale, lift. Twist your right elbow to your left thigh, gaze over the shoulder. Let's come all the way back through center. And then twist the opposite way. Come all the way back down. And then release. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Either step back to your down dog or take a vinyasa, or take a sip of water or take child's pose. This is hard work. Doing the class with you guys is hard. I guess this is what I needed. Okay, let's come up into our down dog. We're gonna take the right leg up towards the sky again, 3-legged dog. Draw your right knee in. Step your right foot between the palms. Land onto your left knee. If you cannot get the foot all the way up there, I want you to just use your hand and take it forward, okay? So we're in a low lunge. If you have a sensitive kneecap, you can place like some kind of cushioning underneath the left knee. Take both arms up. Now we're gonna explore a type of arm movement. It's called eagle arms. So on your inhale, keep your arms lifted. Exhale, open. Wrap the right arm underneath the left. Now either you grip opposite shoulders or you weave your forearms together like this. So you should feel your shoulder blades unsticking. Let's take 3 breaths. 2, 1. Inhale, lift both arms up towards the sky. Now exhale, frame your foot. Keep your left palm where it is. Sweep your right palm up towards the sky. Now maybe you stay here. You can also take the right palm to the sacrum. If you have space to do a quad stretch, maybe you kick the foot back. Please don't do it if it's painful. It really doesn't matter. I think sometimes we feel like accomplishing poses are important, but it's really not about accomplishing anything. It's about feeling everything. And if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. Let's release the foot. Take the right palm back. We're gonna walk the palms back, come into a half Hanumanasana. So this is for your hamstrings. Now, sometimes in class, I will cue people to place blocks underneath their hands if the ground feels far away. Now, we probably all don't have yoga blocks at home. Something I've used as an alternative is books. So if you feel like an extra inch would be nice, you could just grab some hardcover books off the shelf, okay? Multi-purpose, that's what we'll use them for, Maureen from Barnes & Noble. Let's take one more breath. And then we're gonna walk forward, plant both palms, tuck the toes. Now, option 1 is you just come back into plank and back to down dog, okay? Option 2, if you want a bit more core, we're gonna come into Vashisthasana, which is just a fancy word for side plank, okay? So you're gonna walk your right foot back, and then either you're right here, or you step the right foot back, and maybe it's staggered, maybe it's stacked, maybe you like lift it up, 3, 2, and maybe you're like, what the, no thank you, 1, come all the way back. And if you want to take this as a 3-legged flow, you can, or you can just go back to child's pose. Or take it with your knees on the mat, it's okay. Okay, opposite side. Left leg lifts, inhale. Draw your left knee in. Step your left foot between the palms. Land onto the right knee. Remember, you can use your hand to get it there. Generally, the alignment is right ankle underneath the right knee. Okay, so if your ankle is like back there, just wiggle it forward. Take both palms up. Open your arms. Now this time I believe it's left arm underneath the right. So we're accomplishing a few things. In our low lunge, we get a deep hip flexor stretch. We get a nice shoulder stretch. Reconnect to your breath. Give it one more inhale. One more exhale. Let's unwind the arms. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Keep your right palm grounded as you spiral the left palm towards the sky. Option 1, you're here. Option 2, you're here. Option 3, you're here. Find your personal edge. Breathe your body into it. One more inhale. One more exhale. Unwind, land the right foot back. Walk the palms back, half Hanumanasana. Let's inhale and then exhale to fold. 3, 2, and 1. Walk your palms forward. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. We're coming into the side plank, so left palm lifts up. Maybe your left foot is here, maybe it's here, maybe it's here. 3, you got it. 2, and then on 1, come forward. Follow through with your vinyasa. Let's all meet back in our down dogs. Bend through the knees, gaze forward. Step your feet wider than your hands. So you're coming into this Buddha squat. You're bending through the knees, pressing your palms in together. Just take a couple rounds of breath. Give it one more. And then rest the hips onto the mat. Find yourself in your boat pose. This is your Navasana. So on your inhale, let's stay here. And then on your exhale, lower, gazing towards the toes. 3, 2, 1, lift up. Let's take 3 more. Okay, hovering. 3, 2, 1, lift. 2, 3, 2, 1, then lift up. Take your last one, hover. 3, 2, and on 1, lower your body down. Take your knees into your chest. We're gonna open the knees wide and take what's called a happy baby. Grip your palms onto your ankles or maybe on your feet or maybe on your toes. And then just rock side to side. Okay, come back into center. I just want to try something. Let's try it. You're gonna release your grip. Take your palms to the inside of your legs. Draw your knees back down. And then lift your heart up. So this is like you're doing crow pose, but you're on your back. Okay, and you should feel your core kind of engaging. Just kind of like to explore with that position. Let's say for 3, for 2, and then for 1, lower. Okay, palms onto the backs of the thighs. Let's rock and roll. Okay, so you can maybe try rocking and rolling all the way up to chair with no hands. And maybe do it the fancy way with your hands. Let's stay for 1 more breath. Lift up. Now the hard thing about online teaching is that I can't hear if you guys are laughing at my jokes or not. I'll just hope that you are. Let's inhale, palms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Make your way back to a down dog. If you want to explore Vinyasa, explore Vinyasa. Otherwise, we can wait for you in the down dog. Okay, we're gonna do a tiny bit of core work. So first things first, I'm gonna show you. You can do this here on your knees and table. Okay, just lifting opposite arm, opposite knee, and then curling in. Okay, that's one place where you can do it. If you want to try it up in your full plank and your down dog, that's also an option. Okay, so either stay here, just doing this thing, or come up with me to down dog. From our down dog, we're going to take the right leg up and then draw the right knee into the chest. Core plank for 3, for 2, for 1. As you breathe in, extend. Tap your right knee to your right elbow. 3, 2, 1, and extend. Last one, tap your right knee to your left elbow, and maybe if you've done fallen triangle before, you extend the right leg, land the heel, lift up, slowly unwind, come back, lift up. We've done a lot on the arms, I know. One more thing. Bend through the right knee, stack the hips. Now, if you want to flip your dog, you might ripple the heart forward, land the right toes, and then lift the heart to the sky. So your right knee is bent, your right heel is lifted, your left leg is extended. Okay, let's come back, 3-legged dog, and then draw your right knee in. Okay, we got this. Press through the feet, lift all the way up. Find your crescent lunge. Open your arms into goalpost arms, and then weave your right arm underneath the left. So this is the same arm variation that we practiced earlier. Let's stay for a few breaths. Keep the deep bend in the knee, and then just let your heart expand. Come all the way back to upright. Now we're gonna move into a warrior 3. If you wanna do it with your arms like this, you can. If that's like throwing you off too much, your hands can also be on your hips or at your heart. or they can come down towards the mat and support you. Wherever you are, take deep breaths. Root down through your big toe. Stay for one more breath. And now you're gonna tilt all the way up to stand. Take your left knee with you, breathe in, cross your left thigh on top of your right. Yay, eagle pose. We're twist tied all up and let yourself be in this bind, holding in this discomfort, knowing that you're not gonna be here forever. This pose will pass. Just like this chapter, this moment of your life. Stay for one more breath. And then unwind, lift everything up, stretch. And take your palms into your heart center. Let your thumbs connect to your heartbeat. So we're gonna take that flow on the opposite side one more time. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Make your way back to a down dog. I'm just gonna look at my phone. I don't know what time it is. Okay, cool, we're on track. Take your left knee or left leg up towards the sky for three-legged dog. And then same thing as before, those core planks. If you want to do it from your table, go ahead. 3, 2, 1, inhale, lift. Left knee taps the left elbow. 3, 2, 1, lift. Last one, left knee taps the right elbow. 3, 2, 1. And if you want to extend the leg, land the heel, lift up. One more inhale. And then lower the right palm down, lift all the way up. You got this. Last thing. Bend through the knee, stack the hips. If you would like to flip your dog and lift your heart, then do that for 3, or just stay for 2. And then for 1, let's come all the way back up, lift up. Draw your left knee in, step your left foot between your palms. Take deep breaths. Lift all the way up. Open the arms wide once again. For the last time, we're going to take that eagle arm. I think it's your right one underneath the left. I'm not 100% confident on that. So why don't you just try and see which one feels like it needs, like it's the right side, okay? Keep the bend in the knee. Open your heart for a couple breaths. And then shift weight onto your left foot. Slowly lean forward. Now you choose what you're doing with your arms. Maybe they're still in the eagle. Stay for 3 and 2 and then 1. Lift all the way up. Take your right knee with you. Cross the right thigh on top of the left. Sit back. Sit back. You can do it. Oh. If you're feeling out of balance and really wobbly, it's okay, because I am too. Take one more breath. And then expand everything. Take a deep stretch. Take your palms into heart center. Close the eyes. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more. Let's breathe in and stretch both palms up towards the sky. And then exhale into a fold. Take your inhale to halfway lift. Take your exhale to lower. You're gonna plant the palms. Step your feet back, find yourself into a plank. I'm gonna lower the knees onto the mat. You can keep them lifted if you're hardcore. I'm not hardcore. We're gonna draw the elbows back, that's one, and then push the ground away. So these are yogi push-ups. And the reason why we're using the triceps is because we're like preparing the arms for future arm balances. So let's take 5 more. 3, 2, and then 1. Okay, let's lower. I'm done with that. Oh. Okay. Take your palms alongside your hips. Let's move through a few back bends. First one, inhale, lift up. And stay for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2. And then for 1 to lower, land a cheek. Now for the second one, you're gonna interlace your palms at the base of the spine and then lift the heart up. If this doesn't feel good for your back, your hands can also just be here. Stay for 3, for 2, and then for 1 to lower and land a cheek. Now for the last one, you're gonna bend through the knees, take your palms to your ankles. If this doesn't feel good for your back right away, same benefit if you're here, okay? If you want to interlace the palms and move up into the upward bow, go for it. Let's give it 5, 4, 3, 2, and then on 1, just land the knees, land the forehead, and rock from side to side. Come all the way back, land the feet, plant the palms underneath the shoulders, lift up through a table, and then sit back on heels. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an option here. Oh my God, I'm like sweating into my eyes. Yoga's hard. Okay, so if you would like to keep working on those like tricep push-ups, you can, just right here. You could also do a little bit more core work like we did at the start of the class, like this or whatever. I know I have some of you here that are like exploring the crow arm balance, and you can also play around with that. So with crow, you're gonna anchor your palms on the mat, just like we did at the start of the class. You're gonna lift up. Bend your elbows back like we did in the tricep push-ups, and then just start shifting weight onto the elbows. And maybe you just lift one foot and you explore like that. Maybe you lift the other foot. Be really careful. Look forward. See if you can lift both feet. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just a pose. I wish I could see you guys bigger. You're so far away, I like, can't even see what you're doing. Okay. How are we doing? Good? Okay, let's come back into a down dog. From your downward facing dog, inhale your right leg up towards the sky. Draw your right knee in. We're gonna lay the right shin across the width of the mat and wiggle your left foot back. So we're coming into a pigeon. We're kind of chilling out a little bit now. Take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, come forward. Now right away, if this doesn't feel good for your knee or for your hip, you can be on your spine, taking that thread the needle that we did earlier at the start of the practice, okay? But if you're all right here, just stay humbling forward. Breathing into the hip crease. So hip openers can be quite uncomfortable and kind of challenging. I think over time, a lot of us grow to love them. You can release a lot of stress from the body. Stay here for one more breath. And come all the way back up onto the palms. Let's lift all the way back up. Find yourself all the way back in a three-legged dog. And if you want to take one more back bend, rippling forward, coming into that wild thing, feel free. And then come all the way back to your dog. Opposite side, left leg lifts up, inhale. Draw your left knee in, lay the left shin across the width of the mat, wiggle the right knee back. Take an inhale. And then exhale, come forward. How does this side feel and compared to the other side? Let's take one more breath. And then slowly lift all the way back up. Come all the way back up. Find your three-legged dog. If you want to ripple forward, landing the left foot, lifting all the way up. Feel free. Wild thing, 3, 2, and then 1. Come all the way back. Find your down dog. Just let the spine neutralize and realign. And then bend through both knees, gaze forward. Step your feet up to meet your hands. Take an inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, lift all the way up to stand. Okay, we're gonna take one last balancing pose. We're gonna come into a dancer pose, Nadarajasana. So your left foot is gonna be your anchor here. Kick your right heel in towards your bottom. You can take your palm to the inside of the right foot. And then you could also just stay here in this quad stretch. If you would like to come into the dancer, you're gonna kick your heel back. And then eventually just start leaning the heart forward. So you've been opening through the hips. We've been practicing shoulder openers, some back bends. So you've been working towards this peak pose. Let's keep it with us for one more breath. Stay there for one more breath. And then release. Land the right foot. Take the opposite way. Left heel kicks back. Right palm lifts up. So maybe you extend, kick through the heel, then lean the heart forward. Gaze at one point. Know that it's okay to fall. You're still a good person. One more breath. And then come all the way back up to stand. Let both feet root on the mat and then rest your palms over your heart. Notice how it feels to be rooted and grounded on both feet after balancing on one and then the next. Feel the ground supporting you and holding you steady. Let's take one more inhale. One more exhale. And then we're gonna inhale both palms up towards the sky. Exhale into a fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your way back down. Either take a vinyasa or just step back to your down dog. This is your last vinyasa, by the way, if you want to take it. And then bend through both knees, gaze forward, and step your feet between the hands. And we're just going to come all the way back down to seated. So extend your right leg long on the mat. Take your left foot. Either bring your left sole of foot to the inside of the right thigh, or you can cross it and stack it above. We're going to take a forward fold. So on your breath in, you'll lengthen through the arms. And then exhale, fold forward. So we were just moving through lots of back bends, which is an extension of the spine. And then this forward fold, it's a flexion. Give it one more breath. And then come all the way back up. Now just take the left foot to land here. We're gonna turn towards the bent knee and then flag like the right elbow on top of the left. So you're twisting over the left shoulder. Come all the way back through center. And then we'll take the opposite side. So right foot either on the inside of the leg, crisscrosses over. Take a big inhale. And then exhale to come forward. Give it one more breath. And then come all the way up. Land the foot. Twist tie the opposite way. Let's take one more breath. And slowly unwind. Take your right foot, take your left foot. Land them both on the mat. Take your arms alongside your body again. Let's lean back and find your boat pose. Stay for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and then 1. Lean back. 5, 4, 3. Last sneaky bit of core. 2. And then on 1, lower down and land your feet. Keep your left foot where it is. Cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh again and flex your right toes. Push your right palm into your right thigh. So this is thread the needle. Maybe you lift off and interlace the palms, or maybe you just stay here. So this is the very first pose that we started our class with today. And when we took that pose, I asked you to scan your body, to scan your hips, to see how they were feeling. Now I'm just going to invite you to draw back to that moment and scan them again. How are they feeling now? Maybe you're moving a little bit physically deeper into the pose. Maybe you're noticing something has shifted and changed. Take a breath in, and then a breath out. Release the foot. Land the opposite foot, and then switch the opposite way. So maybe as you've moved through your practice today, nothing has physically changed. You don't feel physically different. That's okay. Have there been any other subtle shifts for you? Maybe your breathing is deeper. Maybe your mind is a bit more settled. So maybe nothing physically has changed, but something mentally or emotionally has. Land your right foot back down. Land your left foot. Open your arms. Lift both knees. Drop them over to the right. Send your gaze over to the left. This is your spinal twist. I'm just going to turn off the music. Stay in your twist for one more breath. And then move your knees to the opposite way. So we did a practice today that was centered around hip openers. I call this class Happy Hips. And why do we do hip openers? There's 4 main reasons. The first is that these muscles are directly connected to our stress response. The psoas is a muscle that stretches across the lumbar spine to the femur bone, and it's triggered when we feel stress. So even though we don't have much of a need sometimes to literally fight or flight, when the body experiences stress, the signal travels to that muscle. So it can carry a lot of residual tension and benefits greatly from those hip openers. Let's draw the knees into the chest and then just bring them in and give yourself a little hug. You're still on your back. So our hip openers also really benefit our low back. Maybe rock from side to side and just massage it. Hip openers are also this energetic center for our creativity. And when we practice hip openers, it helps with our general body alignment. Now we're about to move into our Shavasana, our final resting pose. If there's any last poses that would seal your practice, like maybe one more happy baby or a back bend or whatever, take it now. And I'm just gonna come upright into seated. So we'll be here for about maybe 6 minutes, 5 minutes. Try to rest and drop into stillness. Knowing that everything else can wait. And I want to read you guys something, obviously something I came across on Instagram, because we're all addicted to Instagram now. Read it last night and it really touched me. It says, when this is over, may we never again take for granted a handshake with a stranger, full shelves of the store, conversations with neighbors, a crowded theater, Friday night out, the taste of communion, a routine checkup, the rush to school every morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, a boring Tuesday, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we always wanted to be, the people we were called to be, the people that we hope to be, And may we stay that way, better for each other because of the worst. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Take a deep breath in as you stretch through your palms and through your toes. Curl your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a hug. Rock all the way up to a seated shape. And then once you arrive in your seated shape, press your palms together. Feel your thumbs connecting to the rhythm of the breath and the rhythm of the heartbeat. Just sigh your shoulders down your back and tuck your chin. We close with an intention, an ancient intention, perhaps the original intention. It's been passed from heart to heart, year by year, that our yoga practice remain steady, our efforts be continuous, and that this yoga practice be of service and of benefit to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be healthy. May they walk on the path towards freedom each and every day. We're going to finish with an Om sound. And if you want to join, we're going to inhale, exhale, and then inhale through to make an Om. Let's take a breath in. And then a breath out. And a breath in. Thank you guys so much for sharing this space, for sharing the practice. So nice to see you all. May you all have lovely days or nights wherever you are. Om Shanti Shanti. Namaste.
The Mindful Life Practice.